Now I can say that they were unwilling to take action against TTP. They are ideological cousins. TTP activities have not gone down.
Ambassador Asif Durrani is former Pakistani special representative to Afghanistan. He's joining us today from Islamabad, and we'll ask him if Afghan Taliban is unwilling to take action against the TTP, and where does the TTP gets its funding from. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us. You negotiated directly with the Taliban government for over a year. What surprised you most about how they operate?
Well, I think they are mostly non-committal. When you have negotiations with them, there are no takeaways. When you speak to them, they don't commit themselves to any particular issue. They would say, yes, we'll look into it, but they don't come back thereafter. So, therefore, it has been a frustrating experience with them. They could not decide. Probably their system of governance is so centralized that that forbade them from taking decision at the negotiating table. Yes.
What was your takeaway? You mentioned that it was a frustrating experience. In terms of their backing for TTP, do you think that they are unwilling to take action against TTP, or is it just that they don't have the capacity to do so?
Now I can say that they were unwilling to take action against TTP, but during negotiations, they would assure us that we will control TTP. They even requested us to give them money so that they can build their houses away from Pakistan's borders. And when we would ask them that when you are going to take action, they said very soon. How soon? When we would ask, they say, well, maybe 3 to 4 months, you will see a visible change in TTP activities. But after 3 or 4 months, you would see more activities by the TTP inside Pakistan. So when we would remind them that you had promised that there will be a visible change, but here we see that TTP attacks have increased. So they would make some excuses and then later on say that, well, now let us assure you that in another 3 to 4 months there'll be a visible change. But that change never came. So that's how one would call it as a frustrating experience.
So that unwillingness that you mentioned, were you able to decipher as to why they are unwilling to take action against them?
They are ideological cousins. There's no, it's not a rocket science. They are cut from the same cloth.
And Mr. Ambassador, you've been on the record saying that that TTP gets funding and help from India. So how does that funding reach them? What's the mechanism?
It is. They started from during Karzai's time when TTP was formed in 2007. Already the funding channel was opened by India through the Afghan intelligence NDS, and the transaction would take place in Dubai, in Gulf states, and through the Afghan NDS people. And in Afghanistan or in Pakistan, they would hand over to the Afghans. NDS may not be there, it is now GDI, and it's the same setup. Setup is there, and there are old people in the setup. They are in touch. They have been in touch with the TTP guys. So I think the mechanism, that channel was intact. This is my personal view.
Has the Taliban's backing of TTP grown stronger or weaker since you left office?
No, I don't think it has weakened. It is very much there.
Why do you say that?
No, because the TTP activities have not gone down. Yes, when Pakistan took some measures, these aerial attacks and all that. Perhaps that may cause a little bit, but it did not stop that at all.
You've previously called for red notices to be issued for TTP's leadership. Do you think that this policy should be pursued, and would it yield any substantial results?
Well, it is up to the government what measures they want to take, but it is such measures are meant for putting pressure on the Taliban authorities to take action, and also the international pressure to force the Afghan Taliban to take measures against not only TTP, but there are other terrorist groups. I think over almost 2 dozen other terrorist groups are also taking shelter in Afghanistan, including ETIM, ISKP, Islamic Movement of Uzbekistan, and anti-Tajikistan rebel groups. So those are there.
And if Kabul keeps sheltering TTP, what options do you think Pakistan has next?
Well, that all depends that how political and diplomatic relationship we maintain with them. Because just cutting off relationship or borders or trade would not work. Because perhaps legal trade may have stopped, but smuggling continues between the two countries. That has not stopped. So that shows that it is better to continue with the trade, but at the same time exercise vigilance along the border and be very strict against those unscrupulous elements who want to create death or destruction in the country.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.